Hi, we're here to talk about student employee evaluations, the overview of the process. In this brief training section, we are going to discuss the employee evaluations, 5 W's, why, what, who, when, and where, as well as performance management as a process, what it is and what it is not. We'll follow up with a guide and next steps. So the 5 W's of student employee evaluations. First of all, why are they important? Student employment is first and foremost a learning and development opportunity for the students who are having their collegiate experience here at Colorado State University. The supervisors are crucial to play a role in this practice. The Laurie Student Center has a demonstrated commitment to student success, specifically around career development and readiness, and ultimately it is a CSU requirement. So what is a student employee evaluation? It's an opportunity for student employees and supervisors to have an intentional conversation about job performance, giving feedback, receiving feedback, and connection to future career goals. What is required within this is a form to be completed and reviewed with each student employee individually during an identified conversation time with the employee and their supervisor. This means that the employee and supervisor identify a time to specifically talk about this and probably little else. Students also complete a self-evaluation as part of this process. Once that is done, the submissions are uploaded to a OneDrive folder between November 1st and April 30th. Most departments will make the choice to do this sometime in the spring semester. We encourage it to be right around spring break. A department area list will also be required as the submission to our OneDrive folder, as well as all the completed forms, which we'll go through momentarily. The SharePoint folder and form review is next. You will receive access to the student evaluation resources, all access. What this has in it are 3 different versions of the form, which you will then download and distribute to your student employees after the process is identified, as well as resources within this file as well. We will update these continuously, but consistently you'll have these evaluation tips, as well as the process overview and the career competencies. Here we go with the form. The form is crucial to understand and take some time with this first page, which goes over the definitions for reference, specifically around the position responsibilities and the career competencies. It has a link that you can access more of them or find them in the Teams file. The other aspect that you'll want to pay attention to are the rating systems and scales so that it's understood what the 1 through 4 or no evaluation criteria means. Please take time to review this as well as the student, which we'll get into. The next page is the self-evaluation form for the student. This is the opportunity that the student has to evaluate themselves on the position responsibilities as well as the career competencies. They don't have to address all of them. 3 that have been identified by you and by them collectively, but you'll need to communicate that. We'll talk more about that in the next portion of the training. The final page of it, or 1 page each, is the student or the employer or supervisor evaluation for the student. So same thing here, you'll give an evaluation as well as some supervisor comments. Want to point you directly to the questions that are at the bottom of the student self-evaluation. They're reflection questions that will directly encourage them to connect their responsibilities to the career competencies and next future goals, whether they be educational or in a future position. So the 3 options that we have are a fillable Word document. This will provide ample space for those commentaries and the reflection questions. You will need to save those and upload them. If you want to ensure that the formatting stays intact, we would encourage the fillable PDF, which you'll need to then save and upload to the OneDrive. And then finally, the PDF to print. So if you operate and work with your student employees in more of an in-person capacity and technology is less utilized, feel free to print them out, complete them, and scan them to upload into the OneDrive. So who is part of this conversation? 1 supervisor and 1 employee. The exception to that is if someone is co-supervised, you'll need to have a conversation with the other supervisor to assess whether you'd like to have this together or separately with the employee. Please have that conversation prior to outlining the process with your employee. When and where. The date is, again, between November 1st and April 1st, highly encouraged. Note that all materials are required by April 30th. The time of day is any time of day that is lower stress for both of you and held wherever is comfortable and convenient for the two of you in a familiar format. In person is ideal. All right, so what the process looks like is the following. First, you'll want to take some time to review the forms provided and the materials and resources. Identify then with your department when you will conduct employee evaluations. Next, you'll want to communicate with your student employees now about the process and the resources that will be utilized. Pay attention to their performance. Take notes, note specific examples that can be referenced on their evaluation form. Then schedule the time, a minimum of 25 minutes per student, sometime between November 1st and April 1st. Prepare the evaluation, complete the forms, employee and supervisor portions, and then have the meeting. Review the form, give and receive feedback, connect to the career and educational aspirations, and really be intentional about this time. We'll go over more of these tips in the next section. Finally, sign the form, both student employee and supervisor. This can be typed if you are using an electronic form. And finally, submit the required materials, again, no later than April 30th. April 30th. So what this is and what this is not. It is a time to connect and focus on the student employee and their performance. This is crucial quality time that is definitely has the potential to be developmental for the student employees. It's a time to share feedback, critical and positive, about what the experience working with them has been like and what you've really appreciated and could seek to change in their performance. It's also a time to ask questions about their work experience, receive feedback about what the experience has been like for them, and it's a time to connect their job to future goals, whether they be career or education. It is not a time for surprises. If there is feedback that you've been waiting to give until the evaluation, it's highly encouraged and suggested that you give that feedback prior to, so they're not surprised during the evaluation. It's not a time to rush through as a checklist, and if they have feedback to offer about the experience, resist the urge to get defensive about it or over-explain the reason or rationale. Sometimes we can go through more materials about that as well. This brings us to our final slide. Next steps, a checklist. So from here, print out the resource page that's attached to this training that goes through the process as well as tips and tricks. Review the folder and forms, coordinate with your department, reach out to your employees and prepare them for this process, and then schedule that evaluation sometime between November 1st and April 1st, ensuring that all materials are submitted by April 3rd. If you still have questions or want to talk through it, please reach out to our employment team. Those are the areas of human resources and talent development. We really appreciate all of the intentional work that you all will give to this process. And